need to find the right people, find your people, and you'll be good. But I know what they're saying. But this was on an Instagram post, right? So it's a carousel of images. Urban Decay posted these with this caption: "We're not afraid to say it. Makeup has gotten really to express, to have fun. So why is it a great question? Great question. And it's something we talk about a lot here on this channel, especially. It's that Clean Girl lip balm, tinted lip balm, and some mascara. Look how at my makeup. It's like, where's your makeup? Where's your makeup? Just teach yourself a cut crease, hand. Teach yourself a smoky eye. At least blend out an eye pencil. You know what I mean? Do something. And everyone was like pretty excited in the comments here, like, oh my god, okay, give us some exciting things like they used to do back in the day, back when. Let's do it. Let's get into this. Everyone is down for some more exciting makeup. And coming from a brand like Urban Decay, where you can tell people are still okay. You're not doing the best at the moment with your releases, but we know you used to be that edgier brand. You used to be that brand that was like, different. Anyone's gonna do it. Urban Decay is gonna do it. Listen, I'll say that. I'll say that. And it was kind of like an admittance. Hey, we're like, listen, we haven't been edgy in a long time. We haven't done something in a long time. We're not afraid to admit it. Urban Decay is having a midlife crisis, and we're gonna, give it back to you. So just prefacing this, preface. Right after this post went out, Urban Decay announced and showcased their newest release. Talking it up on the feed, we were expecting posting a post like this. Their next release is gonna be color. It's gonna be exciting. It's not gonna be for everyone because we're still in that time where clean girl is kind of a thing. But we're gonna have some great, exciting products now. Right? Oh my god, it's so nice. So exciting. I would expect colors, some fun textures, glitters, liners. When beauty starts being more popular, I would wait for some ethereal, grunge and chunky metallics. Like give us some earthy liners, some fun toppers. Do you want to look at the release if you haven't seen it already? Shall we? Dust and crust. The dirt around this palette is more exciting than what's in the palette. We're not afraid to admit it. Makeup's become very boring. Go. It's like that thing. It's like you're getting a tax rebate. It's like, oh my god, how much? $1. It's like, it's that excitement. It's that hype, and then suddenly it's like, but. So there's two different tones. We have this more like colder, more greys and muted, and then we have this warmer, like browns and sandy colors and deserty colors. Makeup Revolution. It looks like Makeup Revolution. Makeup Revolution don't even do this because they've already done it. And they're like, ooh, the middle circle. It's like the circle in a palette with creams and powders. One second, I'm gonna faint. And listen, I don't expect many makeup releases now to be revolutionary, right? I don't expect something to be new all the time. We've done makeup, we're doing makeup, but textures, formulas can be really fun, really exciting. The mixing of textures in a palette can be really exciting, which that is what this is, but they've done it so it's not exciting. So apparently this is part of them like reinventing icons, their icons, and pushing makeup to its peak performance, right? Which I get, but like also let it go. Also let it go. I do think the formulas of the naked palettes are outdated. At the time they were so superior and they were beautiful, but that was a while ago now, especially when it comes to the revolution of makeup and the formulas. There is some update that's needed. And let me just tell you something, right? There was a hilarious thing happened. There is a content creator called Grant Lanier. I just realized I never said the last name. Lanier, I haven't said that right. I think he's a makeup artist because his makeup's incredible. I was watching a live stream he did, and he was using this palette, and he put a bit of the eyeshadow on his eye and stopped, and he looked at the camera. My jaw dropped, and in that moment, I felt like we were looking at each other with both our mouths open, like, what the fuck is this? Because it went on his eye, see-through. It was non-existent, the product. I'm watching his TikTok. What the I look on live. I started that today, and I clicked
expect that color to be that non-existent on the eye. I mean, we might as well test the powder, right? We're gonna go in with the matching powder and see if that's any better. Oh my god, wow, there's something. I don't know, I just think we need to talk about this Urban Decay rebrand or lack thereof. I don't even want to call it a rebrand because basically it's just like a revamped version of a naked palette, and that's it. But you're gonna tease stuff like this to make us think we're going back to like 90s or whatever, grunge, colorful, fun, makeup. What the hell is going on? We have enough of this on the market already. We want the fun makeup back. I love my girl Urban Decay, and I know she can do it, and I keep giving her chances, but we're on thin ice. And you know, I think part of me tries to be understanding ever since like the skin tint and chapstick cult took over the beauty space, which by the way makes no fucking sense. We have total control over going to the beauty space, and then we're gonna complain about it being boring. Babe, you're hyping up all the people that are doing that and taking away the fun. I'm not gonna say boring. It's, you know, makeup artists out there, people that just like their makeup natural. There are brands for that. The problem is that it's gotten so big on social media that every brand is following that we are losing fun things. So, I don't know. I feel like a 16-year-old girl in high school doing my eyeshadow with this palette right now, and I'm not living for that. Because could you imagine if this palette was like black, still had the same vibe, that like reflect, like that molding, whatever it is. Maybe like the words in green, like some lime acid green or something. You open it up, it's just shimmers and glitters, the blues and pinks and greens and blacks, dark browns. Just put me in the meeting. Tired. We're tired. I'm gonna go finish what I started, I guess. Also, let me just set you down for the storybook that came with this. Where self-expression meets performance. Who's expressing themselves with these shapes? Imagine you're stranded on a desert island. What's one makeup essential you would bring? That's what we asked ourselves when creating the new Urban Decay Naked Shaped palette. Palette that does it all. Does it all? As liner, for brows, contour and highlight, as shadow. There's 3 shades. Sorry. Where? In this shade, I'm gonna say like deep skin tones can use to contour. Looks like fucking grease. It blends out like grease. I look like I just got done changing my oil in my car. I kind of feel like the makeup artist you use to create this might need a new career. A little harsh, but like, don't say this can do all of that and like just hype it up because it's a new naked palette that we've had 70,000 of. It's just that. It's not a contour palette. It's not a highlight palette. It's not a liner. It's not brows because it doesn't do all of that, and that is okay. We thought we were gonna get grunge and aesthetic and fun back from you, but we'll keep waiting.
It's just terrible. And I have to be honest with you, I've seen so many people use it and be extremely disappointed. And I have to say something. I still think Urban Decay has something in them to bring this brand back to life and bring us something exciting. I still think they've got it. And I just think, I mean, somebody left a comment as well. They're like, you have to take the product and then warm it up. You shouldn't have to do all that. You shouldn't have to do all that for a palette like this. Not everyone is a makeup artist. Not everyone wants to do all this extra work to get a result from something. And yes, a lot of makeup artists will be using this, but yes, a lot of regular people in quotes will also be using this. And it's meant to be that one and done, this does everything palette, and it is just not. It just does not give what it's meant to be giving. I do also think as well, and I think a lot of people agree with me, and a lot of people said it in comments of various posts about this, is that maybe, of course, a product like this is planned for a while. So perhaps they should have waited to post that Instagram thing, being like, hey, exciting naked is coming after this release, because they basically just dug themselves in with this, really. I do have to add, from recording this on the 10th of September, these were teased over on Trend Moved Instagram. They seem to be lip oils. The blue looks kind of fun. We all know it's going to be clear, though. Another boring release. So perhaps there aren't funner things lined up. It'll be interesting to see what they do around the holiday season and into the new year. But again, nothing exciting is coming from them as of yet. Talking about reinventing their icons. Let me just say, sorry, about this. So reinventing iconic products. Urban Decay are one of the few brands who are lucky enough in this climate of makeup industry, the makeup industry, to have an iconic product. More than one. Their All Night Sex Ray, their Naked Palette, 1, 2, 3. Iconic. There are not many brands who have iconic products. Estee Lauder Double Wear, Mac Fix Plus, Back Studio Fix, Urban Decay All Nighter. Not anymore. Brands don't do that anymore. Brands that, apart from Tia and their red cushion compact, like you think of that name, you think of that brand, that's the one. You think, you think about brand, that's the product that comes up. Brands don't do that. It's very rare brands do that anymore. So a brand that is still around today, having one in existence is a great thing. So why would you then change the formula of one of your iconic products when it already works so well and is trusted by so many people? So they have reformulated their all-nighter setting spray. And before anyone who is a fan of the brand or a fan of that setting spray panics, here's why you shouldn't. It's still around. Scandinavia, right? Scandinavia is a manufacturer, they're their own manufacturer, and are the original makers of the Urban Decay setting spray. They have worked with Urban Decay since 2010 and own the formula. They license the formula out to Urban Decay to put their branding on and sell. Brands do that, right? And it's been a cult classic since, literally. So L'Oreal, who are the owners of Urban Decay, decided to cut ties with Scandinavia, who make this original formula, in their rebrand and have completely, basically, fobbed off this small business while doing it. And that's one of the reasons that people are kind of mad at Urban Decay. Scandinavia is a small business, but probably, they say small business, but have they not made a good amount from this setting spray? But they probably relied on this partnership for years, and Urban Decay maybe didn't make it obvious that it wasn't their product, right? And this bigger brand eating a smaller brand has left a bad taste in people's mouths with the release of a new and improved all-nighter setting spray. It does almost give off them saying that this other business's product is worse, which would be a huge kick in the teeth after working with them for 15 years. Now, if they were making this setting spray themselves and making the complete different formula and saying this is new and improved, it's better than the old formula, then great. But what they're doing is saying that the old formula wasn't so great and that old formula exists still within another brand. So, and Scandinavia sell it. They sell the original formula. I personally think it sounds like piss, but some people love it. I just really think in a world where everyone is in competition with each other in the makeup industry and there's a lot of competition, reformulating a hero product is definitely risky considering you just had this release. But if you are a die-hard fan of this formula, you can literally buy that original setting spray from the Scandinavia website. So moving on, let's talk about this new and improved setting spray, right? The Lord sent out one of their cosmetic chemists to find out what exactly the differences are in the two formulas. And it's a little bit shocking that they aren't that different. The new formula has stronger preservatives and added antioxidant, and they might have changed over to use freeze-dried aloe vera instead of liquid for better shelf life. So all things considered, them dropping Scandinavia for the sake of swapping out a couple of ingredients definitely seems a little bit unethical because they've taken the formula but changed a few things. It's like, oh, this is butter, yeah, but this is salt and butter. You know what I mean? Could it have been potentially about price, money, with them struggling the last couple of years, thinking if we can make our own setting spray, people love it so much, we don't have to outsource it and pay another company a part of it. I would love to know your opinions about this. I'm a little bit like, I can't tell if I'm mad at them or not. I'm mad at them for not doing well, for not doing their best. And it's like having a child and being like, I know you can do better than this. Why aren't you performing to your standards? Why aren't you living life the best you can when I know you can do better? You know, it's kind of a the setting spray thing. I know everyone's like a little bit, oh, it's a small business, but it's been 15 years. Surely guys make millions and millions. But still, I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it is still a little bit shitty to do something like that. The wording could have perhaps been a little bit better instead of saying like we improved about a formula that already exists within a different brand. The same setting spray you all love, but with a different formula. There's a huge price difference. People want the original, they'll just go buy the original, you know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I just have to say, I said this in another video again. I went away for a week, and then almost 2 weeks, and so much happened over that time. Yes, I'm going to talk about it. If you send it to me, yes, I'm going to make a video on it. I'm getting so many messages. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Yes, I have. Loads of stuff happened while I was away, so I wasn't able to do any kind of filming, catching up, anything like that. I am just catching up, and my videos are at a point where we're 2 weeks in advance of what they. So I'm filming something, it comes out 2 weeks later. So do please bear with. I will talk about it, and I don't care if it's relevant or irrelevant at the time. I just like to share my opinion. So thank you so much for joining me again. And that's not to say I don't appreciate your messages, filling me in on what's going on. But but just if there's any urgency in your mind, I have seen it, and yes, I will talk about it. All right, thanks again for joining me. I will see you guys. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for this video. We are talking about Lashify today. You've probably seen everything about it, but let's get into it. Their brand ran by an individual called Sahara Lottie. It started or kind of launched in 2017 after Sahara patented her unique new lash style. Spiky clusters, which I can tell you as a working makeup artist, during that time, they weren't new or unique. Anyway, back to it. Clusters that were designed to be used on your underlash, along with a lash safe glue and other technology. Basically, just a bit of background on the brand. Back in 2020, Lashify sued a lot of companies and manufacturers over this patent, including Kiss, Ulta, Walmart, and a lot of Chinese manufacturers like Holly Wren and World Beauty. Lashify claimed that the lash styles that these brands were making, they should have sued MAC as well because they had clusters, were direct copies of her patented products and tried to take legal action against them. While she was successful in some of her claims, a lot of them were just thrown away initially because, and remember this for later, her lashes were being manufactured in South Korea, meaning that she didn't meet the laws around protecting her patent in the US. Okay, so remember this. The brand also ran into a lot of trouble around not being able to meet their own technical claims of the patent, so not a lot ended up being done. In short, Lashify had this patent on the design of their lashes. They thought a lot of companies were duping them, copying them, took them all to court. Some of the claims were successful, but a lot of them weren't. One of the brands that they did not get recently through was You Call Me, and after their fan site speaking out about Lashify, it started maybe the biggest lash drama I've ever seen. So let's just swing back to this patent, right, and Lashify's claims. Before we get into this video, just remembering that the actual thing that Lashify patented, sorry, I'm going to pronounce that different ways of time, was their unique lash appearance, their gossamer lash, for example, which was individual clusters with a spiky, wispy look, as well as their underlash application method, which isn't something pretty. Okay, anyway, sorry. Oh my god, anyway. Applying like lashes beneath the natural lash, not on top of like traditional, like forcing like a strip, and their bondage adhesive.
What's happening right now is true. I did, in fact, I mean, not me personally, our legal team did, in fact, sue me and take them off the market because they were infringing on all of our technology. The reason that you really love them is because they were infringing on all of our technology. What a lot of you don't mind me kind of doing this, and I'm about to go out. So, what many people, or you guys may not know, is that I created this product myself in my living room starting in 2015, and every single step I made myself. I came up with the adhesive, I came up with the application technique. This is not just like sticking a strip lash in your knee. It's a whole technique, inner corner, etc. So, and I made this new kind of lash. And nobody had any idea what I was talking about, but I was like obsessed. And I made the first sample in my living room, and I didn't have a lot of money. And it ended up being one of the biggest things in beauty. It blew up. And it was only 2 years that I had before the knockoffs started coming in and robbing me of literally every single thing that I created, down to the double-sided adhesive sealer. Even our trademarks, our words, and nobody cared that it was patented. But I obviously did. And the thing is that what people don't realize is that this is a really big problem in beauty, and especially with women inventors. Like, we're getting completely annihilated. It's not just beauty, actually. It's just like my friend Cassie Hall from Pop, she's getting counterfeited girl that invented the segmented strip lash, a friend of mine, Alex Bird, cut up strip lashes. She was getting counterfeited, and I want to change that. And so we're holding these companies accountable because they need to pay us. They don't just get to come in and steal our whole market. It's not. It's just it can't be that way. Otherwise, we don't stand a chance. And right now, I'm working with an 18-year-old girl who has this insane makeup addiction, and my goal is to help her. Within 2 days, she was already getting knocked off by the same people, and I really want to make a change. And I'm really, really proud of what I created. And that is why I'm fighting so hard and why I won't stop fighting. Because I really did do it myself, and there was no one to help me. So I understand. Just know that I'm listening to you guys. I'm hearing you. I understand you want more affordable products. I wasn't able to sell an affordable product right off the bat. I wouldn't have had money to do anything. But I hear you, and I'm going to think about it on how to create a brand just for you guys that fits that price point. And ethically, there are other companies that are selling these products ethically. This one just wasn't one of them.
I know that was very boring to listen to, I'm sorry. Just the most least entertaining person on planet Earth. While defending a product that you yourself developed is totally understandable, totally get it, definitely justified. This is where a lot of the arguments have started. Patented and sold this lash style. You definitely didn't invent it though. The brand hasn't been subtle or quiet about any of this in the comment section or on social media. You see here, Lashify says, we created the first manga style lash. The statement stands 100% true. She is the trendsetter in lashes that you can think imaginary people in Asia created. Magnetics were also created here by Katie Stoker. Next question. We literally created the first underlash with spikes. Oh my god. We've been here since 2017. You think Chinese dudes that don't wear lashes are designing these? Seriously? Let's not act like this wasn't a thing in 2000s. Far before 2018. This comment is correct. Let's not act like we didn't get a patent in 2016. It wasn't a thing. Stop trying to give credit to Chinese people for something an American immigrant invented. We're tired of it. Who's tired of it? Who's tired of it? Just because Asian people did it doesn't mean they copied. Plus, anyways, have been cutting lashes into segments for ages. Exactly. Why are they insanely expensive? Because you're used to counterfeit pricing. This is a real thing, not the Chinese bootleg. And this is from a small business. Hi losers, keep trying to sell patented products on Instagram that you get from Alibaba. Watch your account go bye-bye, including your bank account. Lashify will sue you in UK courts. No, make no mistake, shameful. Someone says, at Lashify, this is mad unprofessional, it is. And your products barely work. Are you suing Kiss products too? Because they do sell a similar system. I've been wearing Lashify for almost 3 years, and the product works perfectly for me. And yes, they are suing Kiss for other companies that have infringed on Lashify's 175 worldwide patents. Listen, what kind of random person knows that they have a 175 worldwide patent? That's like something with it. So let's just get one thing out of the way. Lashify actually did not, I'm telling you right now, invent manga-style lashes like at all. And to suggest that is not only false, but completely ignorant to the history of the industry you are in. Before we get into that, let me just comment on the brands who comment something like this from their brand page is so fucking stupid. You are so stupid. To be like, first of all, the letter U is the word you in a thread. Being things like, next question, ending a sentence with, oh my god, you literally hit the first underlash spike. Oh my god. This makes you look so incredibly stupid. Really fucking stupid. Why do you always have to, and constantly bring up, you're used to Chinese bootlegs. Plenty of things are made in China that are absolutely fucking incredible. So I don't know why you keep whoever is on this, and I hope someone from this brand sees it. I hope Sahara sees it. Because I have more things to say about you if you're watching this, first of all. But let's just carry on. Let me not get sidetracked. I'm so pissed, I can't even tell you. You may have this business. You may have done whatever in business, but let me tell you something. It doesn't mean you're clever. It doesn't mean you're smart. It doesn't mean you're educated. You're clearly not, and we'll get into that also. You just invented this lash. Calm the fuck down, because you didn't. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off. Okay, some of the best recorded examples of manga-style lashes were in the 1990s. I might pronounce this wrong. Diaru and Go-Gal, which is high school girl fashion, which was directly influenced by manga art styles. and like trying to replicate that doll-like eye with accentuated cartoonish features, whether they're drawn on, whether they are actual lashes. It later came around again in the 2000s when Harajuku culture and style came in, which was super expressional and heavily influenced by the pop culture of the time. Even in the 2010s, this spiky doll-like lash was in basically every other Japanese magazine. You literally have video footage from 10 to 15 years ago of people styling these kind of lashes. The nerve you have to come so boldly into an industry you would clearly know nothing about, to then not bother to learn about, and then make public things like this as a huge brand, to be frank, is lazy and disgusting and annoying and frustrating. Listen, people don't understand this, right? The world of beauty has been around for hundreds and thousands of years. Whether it was someone, a Neanderthal, living in a cage, crushing up seashells to make a bright highlighter, to a Victorian person using paper, printed paper to add color to their lips. The industry, the actual industry of companies and brands selling products has been around for thousands and thousands of years. To think you have done something original is insane, but then to think you have done something original that has photographic and video evidence that predates you, that predates your invention, is lazy and weird. And we haven't even talked about the tones of these comments yet. You have been inspired by something that has existed in Asia, probably used Asian factories to make your product. And then, in the same breath, suggested that they are selling the counterfeit. And as your comment to that UK brand that mentioned, the only thing you have done is patented the product in the US. As far as I'm aware, you are not valid elsewhere. I'd be surprised if you weren't countersued in Asia by much bigger brands. And if these outrageous claims weren't the nail in the coffin of their reasoning, people finding this definitely was. This is a post that was put onto their Instagram account, and it basically was AI first of all. Why do brands keep using AI? Whether you agree with it or not, as a brand, you know there's a market out there, a group of people that hate it. Why keep doing it? It's lazy and boring. You could have stuck loads of lashes on the model. So the caption says, when you hashtag, stack your hashtag Lashify lashes and get a little carried away. Hashtag alter ego. They're trying to do something here. And on one side it says, meet Shannon. On the other side it says, meet Shanae with these stacked up lashes, right?
Just when you thought Lashify only wanted us to meet Shanae, there's Cha-Cha too. Meet Charlene and meet Cha-Cha. I don't even know what this means. If you haven't previously seen this picture that Lashify posted before, where they said meet Shannon and then meet Shanae, when you stack your Lashify lashes and get a little carried away, hashtag alter ego, and how this is super racist, well, the Lashify founder, Sahara Lottie, is responsible for this marketing, unfortunately. And she has a Facebook group called Lashify Live where she vented on all the backlash she got for the chat GPT generated post that she made. She said, I made these two hilariously silly AI images on chat GPT. When you stack and get a little crazy, apparently they are racist, i.e. insensitive, I didn't get it. And people were telling her like, yeah, this is pretty racist. And she's like, okay, I get it now. I was so confused. I was trying to think of the name of Shannon, and it made Shanae. ChatGPT did the rest. I do wish instead of being a-holes on the internet, people would educate and say, dude, you might not know this, but this can be offensive, and tell someone why instead of snickering to be mean. We're all here to learn and be better. The vulture thing is just too much. Either you're racist or not. But people say stupid stuff all the time. I'm not sure they always go hand in hand. This just tells me she needs an actual marketing team who would approve this stuff. I think it's crazy she posted an Asian AI generated woman while she's saying all these Asian microaggressions pertaining to lash clusters, claiming that Lashify has lash cluster patents, and now they're suing small companies like Youcumi just because they're selling lash clusters, and that their product is not the Chinese bootleg, that they were the ones who created manga style lashes, not the imaginary people in Asia, and they were saying stop trying to give credit to Chinese people for something an American immigrant invented while they manufacture their lashes in warehouse in China. So make all of this make sense.
The fact, listen, if a group of people is telling you you have offended them and something you have done is racist, and a lot of people are telling you on the internet, why are you questioning? Why are you confused? Where's the confusion? Where's the confusion? You clearly didn't see it because you posted it, right, in the first place. So your mind clearly isn't able to work in a way that thinks outside your own thought system, that might be able to learn from other people. Your mind clearly doesn't work like that. To then ask people to politely tell you you have been racist, when this isn't the first time she's done ignorant shit, is ignorant. It's stupid. No one has to teach you. No one has to educate you. You, at your age, and I'm not, this isn't an ageist thing, but I hope you have lived a life that you have met enough people and learned from them and educated yourself on why this might be offensive to some people. You should know better. But to be like, oh yeah, no, I get it now. I wish you guys had told me nicer. No one owes you a nice explanation as to why you are being a racist when you have a whole ass company. And it's not as simple as, oh, either you're racist or you're not. It's not that simple. There are microaggressions. There are things you might not even realize you're saying or doing because you've been brought up in a certain way, or society has brought you up in a certain way. Come on now. You should know better than this. I mean, this is a brand that apparently make like 18 million a year. They've won awards. Maybe it's time to invest in some social media people. Get, what's her name? Sahara off the internet in general. She's not good for the brand at all. But it's people like this that get so arrogant, unjustifiably so, that it's like you really don't belong online anymore. You are so out of touch. You're so out of tune. Perhaps your thoughts and your view on the world have aged out and are quite old-fashioned, and perhaps you shouldn't have them out online. On the other hand, I love it when brand owners do shit like this because everyone else can see where their money is going, who their money is going to. How are you as a business owner going to allow yourself to be seen this stupid online? So after Sahara publicly crashed out, or whatever people are calling it, I'm going to put some things up on the screen. You can pause to read. Let me just read this one to you for an example. And this is like in their Facebook group, like Lashify Live. Sounds like a MLM, isn't it? I've honestly been cancelled like 18 times already over my mouth and my sense of humor. And guess what someone just told me? It's because I'm neurodivergent. Can anyone explain more about this? I'm going to put some more things on the screen. Pause it to read it, otherwise we'll be here for all time. Now, here they are. Have a little pause, have a little read if you want to. She's just being stupid. She's just being annoying, that's all. Let me say something. If you have been cancelled like 18 times for your mouth and your sense of humor, you're doing something wrong. Yes, there's dark humor, right? There's things we can laugh about in life. And yes, sometimes we have to laugh at things so we don't spiral and, jump off a fucking building. But if you are being cancelled, you know what that's usually for? Something quite serious. No one's going to cancel you because you made a funny joke. So she came to her senses and attempted to make a kind of apology. So this comes with this screenshot to the beauty community lash lovers. Guys, is this okay? I need to say something. We hear you and we want to be real with you. You may never shop with us, and that's okay. You're still part of this conversation. We know how it looked. The legal talk, the sass back, the tone, and it didn't land. We fought hard to protect what we build, but it came at the cost of perspective back on us. Lashify is an intervention and will keep protecting, but not at the cost of community. This space was built by lash lovers. You're the reason any of this matters, whether you're calling us in or calling us out with us calling in me. We're listening, we're learning, and we're shifting course. We're not trying to win you over, just to show up best. Love, Sahara Lottie. Have you ever heard of the chat GPT hyphen? The extra long hyphen in between things? Let me put a little explanation in here for you and then just look at this title.
What's the ChatGPT hyphen? Just saw this video where the ChatGPT hyphen has been discussed by people much younger than myself, I think Gen Z, and this is the term that's coming into the lexicon right now. So what the ChatGPT hyphen is an M dash, or an emphasis dash. You might have seen it, it's kind of like an extended hyphen, it's a double length hyphen. And the way you type it normally is hyphen hyphen on the keyboard. But that's amazing that the M dash is now becoming known as the ChatGPT hyphen. The M dash is already a pretty surefire way to know whether something has been written by ChatGPT because most people don't use it. Whenever I do any videos about this, though, I always get a lot of people in my comments, and I'll get them now as well, who say, I love the M dash, I use it all the time, and personally I do as well. But I just want to say that it is now becoming the ChatGPT hyphen, and if you do use M dashes, you are going to get flagged up as potentially being AI generated. The same kind goes for semicolons as well. which is a shame because using interesting grammatical constructions is fun, and that's kind of being taken away from us by ChatGPT.
Hi TikTok. Hello. My name is Sahara Badi. I'm the founder CEO of Lashify, and I don't think that we've ever met. I haven't really spent a lot of time on TikTok. This is sort of a new experience for me. Right now, there is a lot of conversation and discussion happening in regards to language, culture, identity, and myself. So let's just get into it. I wanted to take a moment to
Let me just say something here. There wouldn't be so much conversation around it if you weren't being petty and acting like an unprofessional child in the comment section. Brands go through legal things all the time, and we don't hear a single thing about it unless it's on some kind of beauty news channel, right? Like you're able to kind of like, tee hee hee, we're gonna sue you. That's why there's conversation around you, because you're acting like an immature child. You're not doing you're not doing it like this professional legal way out of love for your brand. You're being petty.
discuss some of the concerns that I have heard about through this community, and really address the things that are bothering you guys. The microaggressions.
A lot.
Thank you. Thank you for those of you that called me in, especially in a kind way, because I actually had no idea that I was being
Why does she keep saying calling me in? It's not going to lessen the fact that people are calling you out.
microaggressive. And what
I'm sorry again to keep pausing it, but how, again, at your age, I know people are stupid at her age, but you work in the beauty world. The beauty world is full of a lot of people. I've worked in it for 20 plus years. How are you so unaware of microaggressions and what they are? Lies. She's just a racist, sorry.
realized, because I had to think about it for a minute, I really had to think about it, and what I realized is that this language, without a doubt, perpetuates harmful stereotypes, and I don't want anything to do with that. Listen, I can tell you wholeheartedly that was not my intention, but it doesn't matter. What matters is the impact that it has, and that is the big thing that I always think that things happen for a reason, good or bad. There's a lesson in everything.
You were a racist for a reason.
And for me, the lesson was this intention versus impact. Because my intentions are always good intentions. But
Sorry. I'm sorry. Can we just look back at some of the stuff she said and said, my intentions are always good intentions? Can we just look at some of the things she has said? Good intentions where?
impact that it can have on different people is 100% irresponsible. And that's not even something I want to be a part of. And I deeply, deeply apologize to anybody that I offended via my tone or my use of language. Flat out, the Shanae Shannon post, regardless of what it was inappropriate. And I take full accountability for that post. Comparing those names, again, perpetuates into really harmful stereotypes of Black women in the culture. And again, I don't want to be a part of that. So I was unknowingly, with a sense of humor or just sort of an ignorance all around, taking part in that. I deeply apologize. I deeply apologize to anybody that was impacted by that. That was something that was wrong. It should have never gone up. And 100% I understand. Now, on the topic of mango lashes and cultural appropriation, I want to acknowledge that the words used could have been clearer. When I said mango lashes, that was poorly phrased. What I was referring to was DIY lash extensions, the segments, under lash segments that I created. Previous to Lashify, there was never ever a DIY lash with a spiky point like that. So that is what I meant by that. But let's make it clear that I did not invent strip lashes. I did not invent lash extensions. I did not invent flare cluster individual lashes. I did not invent magnetic lashes. But please note that the distinction matters. Those are all very different technologies.
But no one said that. You said manga style lashes. Which, again, if you don't know what they are, why are you using that terminology? Or if you know what they are, why are you using that terminology if that's not what you meant? But you were so sure. You kept saying it, manga style lashes.
The bottom line is the way that I said it might have come off as dismissive to other contributions or efforts, and that is absolutely not what I meant.
The bottom line is, you went into this industry uneducated and ignorant, thinking you've done something amazing when you haven't. Bottom line is, you are wrong, you are incorrect, you have been, and you continue to be.
To address the comment about imaginary Asian people, that again goes back to intent versus impact. It really, what I was referring to was China in general, the country where things are getting made. But the way that I said it, once again, reinforced
We know you meant China, you kept saying China.
these really harmful stereotypes. Again, something I don't want to be doing. I 100% understand the impact, and I'm 100% committed to doing better. Because I have to be honest with you, I kept wondering, why do I keep getting in trouble for the way that I speak? Like, I didn't get it.
No, no, no. Not up to this point. Not up to this point. Have you just figured out why you keep getting in trouble when you speak? It's happened before. I'm going to explain later. You know what you're doing. This is all bullshit. You know exactly what you're doing, and it's pathetic.
But I get it. I know that I am what do they say, a strong cup of coffee? I'm more like a tequila shot. Okay, I'm a lot. But I am open to listening to criticism and
I don't think you are.
really truly hearing it. And the way that I've handled some stuff is pretty immature. So what you need to know about me is that I care deeply about my brand. I care deeply about women in business and innovation. I care deeply about this community, and I care deeply about people. And my goal in life is to grow as a person and be a better person and to help others as well. So I'm committed to showing up differently with more humility and listening to you. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. I want to thank those of you that called me out on my sort of irresponsible way. It's really like an old school way of speaking, and again, impact versus intent. Thank you guys. Again. Thank you guys. Thank you.
So if you truly have no idea that the language you are using is hurtful and perpetuating gross stereotypes, then maybe you're not fit to be in a position where you are speaking for your brand, for millions of, and potentially millions of people to see. If you are comfortable enough to speak like that with no issue publicly, you have definitely said words behind closed doors. No doubt, no doubt. What do you mean poorly phrased? How is anyone who runs a multi-million-dollar lash brand getting lash clusters and manga style lashes confused? At the very least, you have made an incredibly embarrassing mistake. And at the worst, you haven't learned a thing. There was never a spiky lash like that. You're self-contradicting, by the way. Listen, I get it. We don't like people online. Some people obviously don't like me. We're entitled to like and not like whoever we want, right? You might think I go in a little bit hard. You might think I could go in a little bit strong. Maybe I get angry about stuff, right? But something I am not as a result of that is racist or ignorant. Sahara. I also want to touch on the situation, right, that she had a long time ago with Manny anyway. So Manny gave these lashes possibly not a positive review, not a good review, to which she responds, I have it.
He thought they were. Honestly, I don't know what he thought they were. But I have to remember, at the end of the day, he can have all the makeup he wants, but he's still a dude. He's still a dude, man. Manny, you're still a dude, bro.
They then go on to, I've seen her on their official Instagram page post it saying, not everyone wants to look like a drag queen. We love you at Manny anyway, but he is also not a drag queen. A man in makeup doesn't automatically equal a drag queen. A drag queen is a performer, an artist. A person wearing makeup is just a makeup. It's like if anyone puts on makeup and like, oh, you think you're a model. It's like, no, I'm just wearing makeup. It doesn't, being a man in makeup doesn't make you a drag queen. That's a performer. That's somebody who performs and makes money from doing that. All this just because, as a business, you should expect positive and negative and neutral reviews. That's the way it is. just like when you go online, you expect people to like you, hate you, love you. That's life. To go on your official page and post something like this is insane. It's crazy. And again, more ignorance to gay people, more ignorance to men in makeup, more ignorance to even drag queens. Pure ignorance. So we have ignorance to race, we have ignorance to gender, we have ignorance to the gay community, the queer community. I'm sure we'll be adding more to that list at some point. And yet you have the nerve to bring out a Pride collection this year. I really, really hope you don't mind men wearing these. I really, really hope you don't mind drag queens wearing these. But given your past and your current state of who you are as a brand, it's no wonder that you have comments turned off on all your posts, because I most certainly would have a thing to say on this. Again, this is where you are uneducated on the beauty world in general. Men invented a man invented NARS, Revlon, Maybelline, Kevin Aquan, of course. Men have always been huge players in the beauty industry and still continue to be until now. It's actually a whole thing, right? It's actually kind of sad. That's why a lot of indie brands, successful indie brands, are founded by women, because they kind of have to do it themselves and they do it very well. But men have done a lot for the beauty industry. Max Factor, come on, do your fucking research on the industry you are entering yourself in and think you know so much about. When a man puts on makeup like me, like Manny, we aren't claiming we are women. We don't think we are now women. We don't think our gender has completely changed. I am still a man sitting here in makeup. I am a man wearing makeup. If you are so old-fashioned and ignorant to think that makeup is a gendered thing, then good for you. Go and be ignorant and annoying by yourself. But don't try to enter an industry where everyone of every gender is celebrated in different ways. You know what I mean? You're still a dude. Yeah, he knows he is. But what does that mean? You can still do makeup better than you. I can still do makeup better than you. Now what? What does that mean? I'm talking directly to Sahara, not to anyone else, because I'm sure there's loads of you that are incredible makeup artists. But what does that mean? Tell us, what does that mean? It's still a dude. Okay, so what? It's not a bad thing to be a man in the beauty industry. It's not a bad thing to be a man as an influencer who wears makeup. So what's your point? Again, you apply your own product and make them look shitter than they are. So what's your point? I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't attack people's personal looks, but one thing I don't stand for is racist and ignorant people in general. I won't do it. I do not like this person. I think she is horrendous. Justin is at a point now where you have made